Hey guys, it's me Will, and this week we're taking a look at the Venators hanger. Since a lot of people don't seem to watch these intro sections, we're just going to skip it this time and actually dive into the build because we have a lot to discuss. Alright, this week on the Venator series, we have a ton of things to get into, but this week we're going to get into the hanger. Now, we have some progress made on the Venator's hanger, but we are not quite there yet, as you guys can see. We are missing a ton of these 1x1 light bluish gray tiles. I didn't order any in the order, and I need at least 100 to 200 of those pieces for the small details that I have inside the hanger. What you call it, door things, not really doors, but whatever these columns are called, they're kind of like that. I'll pull up an image to it on the screen right now so you can see how labeled they are, but I don't have enough 1x1 studs to complete all of them. I have all the other parts for them, but 1x1 studs. So you can see my frustration at this point, where I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build some of these for the update when I don't have enough. I was able to find like 5 spare ones, but I'm surprised I didn't have more of this Lego piece. So my plan for this week is to kind of just build around it, because I have a lot of tiling to do and tons of cool ideas I want to show you this week for the Venator. But we're going to have a really cool update. Trust me, everything you saw in the thumbnail is going to come to fruition this week. So let's get into it. The thing we managed to get done so far was this hanger thing right here. So as you guys can see right here, we do have the hanger starting to form a bit. We do have this gray towel of 2x4s. I do have a bunch of 2x2s, but I don't want to use them for this section, because once you use one thing and then you start mixing with the other thing, it just does not look as good. And I didn't really want to put a bunch of 2x2 tiles on this main hanger area. It'll be used over here in the side for like the landing bays and stuff like that, but not for this main strip right here. So I'll have to order some more of those eventually. I don't know when I'm going to, but it will just have to happen. But before we get into that, something cool I want to point out is this is the original hanger that I used on the original one. As you guys can see, there's some yellow underneath there, and this was all tile before. So it's really cool to see the old ways of the old Star Destroyer with just really bland and basic columns like this. Like this was it before. It was just this. There was no fancy brick techniques, but now there's gonna be brick techniques, which is super cool. Alright, we have an update on the Venator. We're making some nice progress. We're actually putting down some more tiles, which is kind of nice. And we put down some more of these support columns, I guess, but they're mainly just for detail. They aren't really supporting anything. But we are still missing a bunch of these 1x1 studs. I just didn't order them to the Bricklink seller, so I had to order them eventually once I get some more money to fund those parts. But once I get like maybe 100 of those, we can finish all these, because I have the majority of the parts that I would need for something like this. But without those 1x1 studs, all these are just kind of like incomplete, and it doesn't look that great. But I did come across a discovery. So I wanted to tile the hanger because I have a bunch of these kind of tiles, the 2x2 ones, not the 2x4 ones. But I was looking at the Clone Wars to try to see how I wanted to design the hanger, and I saw they had these red stripes on there, and I'm not sure if I really want that, because number one, it's reddish brown bricks which don't look that good, and I just don't know, you know, it just wouldn't look that great, I feel like. So I'm still deciding I'm going to put the reddish brown bricks like this, or just like use some dark gray bricks. I feel like the dark gray bricks would have looked way better, but I just saw that and I'm just like, wait a minute, should I do accuracy or coolness? And I'm leaning towards coolness. So I'll hit you up with another update once I decide. So diving into the Venator today, we have so much progress made. We have new lines for these sections over here for, you know, separate hanger bays, I guess. And then in this area, we're gonna have dark bluish gray tile, which I do have some of right here, but sadly I did run out of it. So we're gonna get some more of that and put it in there and there and there and there. We also have these nice pillars up. We still need 1x1 tiles. I'll be placing an order soon, hopefully in the next like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know when exactly, because I'm trying to cut back on my spending, considering how much money I spent on parts for this thing already. But this thing is new over here, this rear contraption that you guys are seeing. So this thing right here is meant to hold the blue lights that will be on there eventually. As you can see, like this gray thing, those gray poles, they will be covered by blue translucent pieces that will be lit up for each one of these hangers. Won't that be amazing? Like, to have so many hangers lit up inside the Venator, and it's gonna run underneath like this area. That's why I have it open still. Also the fact that I ran out of tile, like, that's gonna look so amazing. I cannot wait for that. I know this hanger isn't really figure scale or any kind of scale. Heck, I don't know why I have this up here. The reason I made this hanger was it was meant to be a micro scale hanger, but it's just my creation, you know, like I want a good size hanger inside my Venator, but you know, like this is pretty good. But there is one flaw that I've not mentioned yet. So over here, as you guys can see, this is the slope somewhat for the Venator. It doesn't look so good. Like the last one looked way better in the ways of slope, like in proportions. Look at this. That is not how high the Venator is supposed to be. So we're actually going to cut all of this off right here because it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Originally, I had planned to make sliding doors that would go upwards a bit, but now that's just not possible. You see these pieces right there? They were meant to be sliding doors that were going to be automatic. I spent hours trying to design this kind of thing with sliding doors that would go up, and I did an ODD. I'll show an image of it right now. You see how I did all that hard work trying to get this thing to work really well, but sadly it just did not work out in the end because it's too tall. I could, however, make them go into the ground, but that would be super hard and would weaken the structure a ton, and I already have enough structural problems with this Venator. I don't need any more structural problems with making holes in here right now. Like that would just be the worst idea ever with the structure of this Venator. It would weaken it so much, but I think I'm going to have sliding automatic doors unless I was to like make this whole thing like a little bit less, like maybe up to here, but that would just look really odd. So sorry, there's going to be no sliding doors. Very sad, cry. But in the back hanger, there will be sliding doors. I can guarantee you that. In the back hanger, that's actually like knee fix scale, everything, there will be sliding doors. As you can see over here, we do have some clones. They're not all my clones, but this is going to be a back hanger eventually. There's going to be one big hanger, kind of something like this, but there's only going to be one of them right here, and then there's going to be another one on the other side. That's for mini thick scale hanger in the back. We're going to have two things that drop down, not things, why am I saying things? That doesn't make any sense, but there's going to be two lifts that drop down to the lower levels, which is over here. For those of you who are new to the series, we did cover this a few weeks ago where there was some lifts, which is something that I'm very excited for. All in good time though, we're still in the front section. But that is the current plan for the Venator. Make this a little less tall, I guess, because we want it to be like right here, because that's a good angle. Like that's actually accurate, not this. That is terrible. So if you can keep it at this pace for the whole thing, it should look pretty good. So now let's head into the outro without further ado. Alright guys, that's all for this week. I'm building my custom Venator. Week 5, we had a lot of progress this week, and next week we're going to work on the paneling, the top paneling with the opening bay hanger doors. I've actually started prototyping designs, but you'll have to wait till next week to see that. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.